when they want to do something for you, or you go to them for them to do something for you, at the apex of all their requests, they will request the human soul. Good day, my brothers and sisters. I want to welcome you once again to this streaming of the Way Network, and to thank you for your time and your energy that you are investing to acquire knowledge for yourself. I know for sure that the true knowledge is not a wholesale thing, and then it's not everybody that will be gifted to be able to, as it were, to have interest. And all of us together are trying to shed light in this world and to make more souls come to the realization of the truth of the divine, of which we have called God. There's something I want us to discuss about, or I want us to talk about. And if anybody has any question, the person can post it through our group page. As I said, I will try as much as possible to change our group page from the WhatsApp group to a Telegram. Is it Telegram? Telegram group. So because I realized that the reason I have not done any session on it again is because I noticed that the WhatsApp group cannot take more than 30 or something people, and because of that, a lot of people were not able to join. So, but with the Telegram, it's able to take more people up to about 20,000, something like that. So we will convert the group from WhatsApp to Telegram, and then when you're able to do that, you're going to do a lot of teachings, and a lot of information to be shared there, and a lot of certain little practical spiritual knowledge will be shared there. So that is for your information. So when we form the group, we will then post the link in the WhatsApp group, and then you would join by clicking on the link. So basically that's that. In the group, we probably may have to change the name from Hidden Knowledge to a more relatable group name. So we may call it People of the Way. Okay, this is how the spiritual people in the first century who were pursuing the truth were called. But we are not naming it because of them, but this is something that was dropped into my spirit. So we are going to probably name the group People of the Way. Okay. And over there we'll be sharing a lot of truth, a lot of knowledge, especially the way a lot of people think Bible or Christ is not real, it's a fiction and all those things. We're going to share a lot of knowledge in that regard on that particular group, so as to prove to you that Christ do exist, and he may be called different names at different jurisdictions, but the energy does exist, and if you are able to develop yourself and connect and align with that energy, when you use that name, it works. Other jurisdictions may call it Yeshua, whatever name they may call it, that's fine. So we're going to do that. But today, I want us to discuss. It will not be. It cannot be just one video. So I'll do the intro, give you some forelight to the whole topic because it's a very in-depth topic, and then we'll come back in another session, another streaming to get you the update to whatever you're going to discuss today. Today, I want us to discuss or to talk about the value of the human soul. The value of the human soul. And it's one thing that I believe is important for each and every one of us to know, because we are living souls. The Bible says in the book of Genesis, and after God has formed man from the dust of the ground, or literally not the physical dust you see anyway, God breathed into man's nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Other version says that man became a conscious being or a living being. But the most popular version say, and man became a living soul. So actually, when we talk about man, we are living souls. That means that beyond our personality, there is an essence, and that essence transcends our persona, our personality, and that essence is a soul. So we must know what is this soul and the value of this soul. We must know what is this soul and the value of the soul. Because if we don't know our worth and our value, we can sell ourselves cheap. And those who know our worth and our value will take advantage of our treasure to enrich themselves while we suffer. And that's the reason why it is very imperative and very, very necessary that everybody should know his or her value. Not value in terms of material acquisition, but value in terms of how much your soul is worth in its true essence. And why is it that most entities or most deities you would want them to assist you in some way or form would request to some degree an exchange with your soul? What is it that constitutes the soul, that the soul becomes so valuable that these entities are ready to give you anything in this material world just for the exchange of your soul? They are ready to give you all the wealth and fame in this lifetime just for the exchange of the soul. So what is it that constitutes the soul that these subtle, invisible energies are so much interested in? The soul as it is, if we should take it from the dictionary perspective, let's just take it from the dictionary. Let's Google it and find the meaning of the soul. What is the soul? Now, I want us to take it from the dictionary perspective. A soul is generally understood as the spiritual, immaterial part of a human being. So, the soul is the immaterial part of your human being, or the immaterial part of man, often believed to be the essence of individuality and personality, and sometimes considered to be immortal. That is what AI Google Dictionary defines the soul to be. So by going by the world standard, not about spiritual standard, not about spiritual revelation, by the world standard, see how much preference and value they place on the soul. It is the immaterial. It is not physical. It is the immaterial part of our human being, often believed to be the essence of individuality and personality, and sometimes considered to be immortal. It is the part that is thought to survive death of the physical body and in and is associated with emotion, reason, and consciousness. So actually, when you talk about the soul is consciousness. The soul is being. That is consciousness. That is what the soul is. And consciousness is profound. And consciousness is beyond all material acquisition. This is how valuable your soul is. So all these deities and all these entities, they need to sustain their consciousness and then elevate their consciousness. And for this reason, in exchange for any form of material satisfaction or sensual gratification, they will request of an exchange with your soul. Why? Because they place premium on consciousness, because they know that consciousness is beyond all material things. And because we don't place value on consciousness, we disregard and derogate consciousness for sensual and material pleasure. But consciousness, as these entities know, is all there is to be able to gain this material and have control over this material space. So you can see the value of the human soul. This is how valuable the human soul is. The human soul, as it is priceless, of infinite wealth. That is one state of the human soul. Probably when you listen to me, you may not fathom what I am saying. But when you are able to be, when you begin to do your spiritual meditations, and you're able to harness the soul, and you see the infinite, limitless light that the soul radiates in, then you will know the value of the human soul. That the human soul is priceless, infinite worth. That means that the human soul is worth without end. 2, the human soul is an embodiment of infinite potential. I'm taking my time, writing it down, and then I'm delivering it as and when. I'll just scramble it, I'll just scramble as and when the intuition gave me, I'll just scramble it. The human soul is an infinite potential. It's endowed with infinite potential, limitless potential. 3, the human soul possesses immeasurable value. The human soul possesses immeasurable value. There is value that you cannot count, you cannot quantify. This is the value of the human soul. And it's for this reason, all these entities, all these malefic forces, all these marine spirits, all these spirit of the water, all these kind of malefic energy, non-benevolent energies, when they want to do something for you, or you go to them for them to do something for you, at the apex of all their requests, they will request the human soul. The highest of their request is the human soul. They don't request anything beyond human soul. So they start from the soul of the animal, killing animals, spilling their blood, blah blah blah. Then they begin to look for some parts of human being, human head, human heart, and at the end of the day, then they request for human blood, which is the highest of their request. So this is how valuable the human soul is. So it is necessary for you to realize that your soul is something that you are not to toil with. You're not to toil with your soul at all. Because they wouldn't take anything apart from the soul. Either they are taking the soul of a lesser being or they are taking the soul of the highest being. So either they are taking egg, which also the egg has an essence within it, or they are taking the life active force in a sheep or a cow or a goat, or go in for the blood of a human being, or you sign agreement for the exchange of your soul. That's the highest. And that happens after you transcend this physical reality. Your soul is trapped by these malefic energies between the etheric and then the astral dimension, the lower astral dimension. And then you see the way they will treat you. It's pathetic, very agonizing. So the soul is not something that we are to joke with. The soul is not something that we are to joke with. Because all that there is that we would ever possess is embedded within our soul. And these energies, these deities, these fallen angels and demons and satanic forces are aware that there's no material sensual possession that is worth the value of the human soul. I repeat, all these demonic forces, they are aware that there's no material, physical, financial, sensual possession that is worth the value of the human soul. And that is why no matter how much fame you want, no matter how much popularity you want, no matter how much wealth you want, how much money you want, they only request an exchange with your soul. But now they are doing it in a very fine way, because they realize that people have come to that realization, because some of the people who have engaged in that activity, who realize the mistakes that they have done, have come out publicly to conscientize and caution people in that regard. So then they have also devised other means of still getting the soul trapped. And when we say an energy have trapped your soul, that does not mean that you'll be dead. When you transcend into the realm of the lower astral, there are beings that would negotiate with your soul. That whatever they negotiate with you, you get it in the physical life. You get it. In the physical life, you get it. But still your soul is inside you. But after your time is due and you transcend this physical body, then they will capture the soul. And you see how they ride the soul and they punish the soul. Nti nipa a yɛte wɔ no yɛnyɛ nipa ketewa, yɛnyɛ nipa bi kɛkɛ, yɛnyɛ abɔdeɛ bi kɛkɛ. Nipa ɛnyɛ abɔdeɛ bi kɛkɛ. Tumi ɛwɔ yɛn mu, tumi a ɛsom bo yɛfrɛ no ɔkra kra ɛwɔ yɛn mu. Na saa kra no ɛsom bo kyi biribiara ɛwɔ abɔdeɛ mu. Woka abɔdeɛ nyinaa de bom ɛna ka dwetire nyinaa de bom ɛna woka egude nyinaa ɛwɔ asase de bom a endu nipa kra sɛ na nipa kra ɛsombo. What I said is, the worth of all the material possessions in this world, all the financial possessions in this world, all the sensual gratification in this world, and in the worlds to come, all put together, is not worth the value of the human soul. I repeat again. All the possessions of this material world, all the wealth, I mean gold, bauxite, manganese, cocoa, oil, everything in this physical world combined, all the sensual pleasures, be it drinking, be it sex, be it womanizing, be it manizing, be it eating, whatever, all put together in this world and in the worlds to come, all put together, their value can never be compared to the value of the human soul. This is how much your soul is valued. The value of your soul is valueless because it can never be valued. The value, the price of your soul is priceless. And your soul is worth billions and billions and zillions and trillions and whatever value in the galaxy, in the spiritual dimension. And more so, when you become spiritually enlightened, it's even worse. Because when you become spiritually enlightened, your soul becomes elevated. So your value is a different matter. So it is very, very important that I set this premise for you to know that enye sunsun fi bia na obeko, enye hunhun bia so na obeko. Ahunhun bebre a mokom so no abosom bia mokom so na mo kra no emu odutwe because lack of knowledge. Your nature spirits wo no mo wo se o mesum ye abode no do masha abodem se mundimboa abode na ye wo honi so wo no ko a nature spirit bi ni wo be demand okra ano be demand moja ano be demand visa. But the other fallen energies, the malefic, non-benevolent energies, they are the ones that request the distance. And ultimately, at a certain juncture of your relationship with that energy, you will request for your soul. The value of the soul is so profound and so priceless that whatever it takes, including that divine essence which we call the Christ, has to suffer agony through the body of Jesus just to show you the path to liberate your soul. Let me take it once again. And I know a lot of people may be having a what's going on. There's the truth I'm telling you. The essence we call Christ, which is the primary and the highest soul, individualized soul, that dwells in me and dwells in you and dwells in all beings. That essence took physical birth through the body we call Jesus or Yeshua, and that Christ essence had to go through different degrees of agony just to ensure that through the body of Jesus, he will reveal the truth to the liberation of the soul that has been set into captivity. This is the whole duty of the Christ, which is the hope of our glory. That's why it says that there is no greater love that a man should lay down his life for his fellow man. So his fellow man will see the path to his soul liberation. The soul that you see, that when you sleep, you see yourself dreaming at some place, fighting, enjoying, and going through a whole lot of things. That soul is immaterial. And that soul possesses all the potential values that you need in this physical dimension. Nyama wo chima na oko spiritual house to spiritual house, oko asori faith to asori faith, oko spiritual teacher to spiritual teacher, oko from adept to adept. All the thing you are looking for is embedded in that thing you call your soul. Only if you can learn to pay attention, go inside and pay attention, you will see how much you have lost and how much unnecessary pain and agony you have gone through for the denial of the human soul. And the potential that the soul is made up of is the potential of light. And light simply is infinite intelligence, limitless intelligence. That's why it's said that the soul is an abbreviation of self-obliged, ubiquitous light. This is how much you're worth. Take time to develop this soul. Take time to unveil the potentials of this soul. And you will know that all this while, there was no need of moving from place to place. The soul that is in me is the same thing which is in you. The only difference is our karmic retributions or karmic experiences and then our previous incarnations. Now, the soul is also the instruction and the office of human government. The soul is the instruction and then the office of the human government. When I say it is the instructions and the office of the human government, what I'm trying to mean is that the soul is the department within your being that harnesses all the instructions. It's able to reach out to all the instructions and serves as a governing space for your human experience. So the soul then has to foresee to the human experience. And that is why a soul that does not foresee and pave the wrong way will be punished. Asema yakawanya godio. India grow. But you can't say it, you can't easy, sir. But the day you leave the physical body. So usum da epuna kama chesiwa, wonse ne mutie. Usum da kana kama keke chesiwa. Ana wako bebi awo bebre wo on peso mokawa, wonse ne mutie. And no puye dayo is the false experience of the soul. Now the soul no free body no move completely and comes to the full awareness of the mess ups that he has created. The consequential agony is very, very painful. Somebody will say, as somebody once asked me, but the body that feels pain, when you die, the body is no more there. So how can you feel pain when they are punishing you in the afterlife? And I told the person that it's just that you don't understand. Because it is not this physical body that feels pain. This physical body is a conduit through which the soul expresses its emotions. If the soul is happy, it expresses it through this physical body and then we begin to laugh. When the soul is sad, it expresses through this physical body and we become moody. And probably sometimes we may weep. So the soul uses this physical body to express itself in this manifest reality. But that which truly, truly feel pain, truly, truly feel agony, truly, truly feel bliss, contentment, happiness, is the soul and not this physical body. That is why when somebody dies and the soul leaves the body, when you take a knife and you pierce it into the person doesn't feel the pain. The only reason why the person does not feel the pain is because that which feels the pain is gone, which is the soul. So the body becomes mortal remains, becomes just matter. So that which feel pain and that which feel happiness and that which feel contentment and that which feel tranquility is the individualized soul. It's not this body. It just uses this body as a container to express its emotional state. So when you die and you are being punished, you feel the punishment. Second, the soul determines the condition and the motivation of the human experience. Your soul, it determines the condition and the motivation of your human experience, of your physical experience. When I say your human experience, I want to mean your physical experience. That is what the soul does. This is how powerful the soul is. It is encoded with divine intelligence. And it holds the blueprint to your karmic experience. Lastly, the soul, when you talk about the soul, it constitutes the intellect, which is the mind, the emotions, the will, and the senses. So when you talk about five senses, it's not this physical ear or this physical mouth or this physical eye. These are just portals. They are just gateway through which the non-physical senses are able to express itself through the physical senses. Nipa kra esombo. Na akyɛdeɛ wɔ nipa kra mu. Ade biara nipa pɛ sɛ ɔyɛ wɔ asase yi so sɛ wɔ n'akwan mu wɔ ne destiny mu deɛ a ɔkra na bɛkyerɛ no, ɔkra na bɛkyerɛ no. Nti ɔkra no yɛ ade a ɛni sɛ yɛdi agorɔ. Ɛni ti na ɔbonsam ahohom na yɛfrɛ no ɔbonsam no. Ɔna ahohom na yɛfrɛ no adama na ahohom. Ɛni ti na ɔmo ne ko nipa kra ho. Na ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ biribiara na ɔmo nya nipa kra. Because the more ɔmo nya nipa kra, the more they become powerful. The more they get the source of meaning, the more those demonic forces become very powerful and very difficult to be destroyed and be comprehended. Let's look at Matthew chapter 4, no, first, let's look at Mark chapter 8, verse 36. Mark chapter 8, verse 36. Mark chapter 8, verse 36. It says that, Mark 8, verse 36 says that, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? This is what Jesus is saying. The Christ is asking. That what will it profit you if you walk in iniquity to achieve all the wealth in this world, and at the end of the day, or at the tail end, you lose your soul? Of what profit is there? Of what profit is there? The reason why it is the Messiah is asking of what profit is there is because he knows that the soul is more valuable than all the treasures of this life and the life to come combined. So it is absolutely of no profit to mislead your soul just to get material things, or to sell your soul just to get material things. It's of no profit. That's what it's trying to say. 37. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? What shall a man give in exchange for the soul? The reason why it's asking the question is that this is it's ambiguous question. Of what shall you give in exchange for your soul? Say o soul ahonhom beje wo kra. If your soul is trapped by an entity, what do you have which is worth your soul, or what is there in this world that has the same value of the human soul that you can use to exchange your soul? There is none. That's what the Messiah is trying to say. There's absolutely nothing in this material world that if you should trade your soul and lose your soul, you will use to exchange your soul. So when you are doing something in relation to your soul, be careful. Especially when these are activities that you don't have control over, or you do it by yourself. Be careful. That's my only advice to you. Bibia obeya efa okra ho enye wa na oye wa de be obi na eye ana ode okra efemu a, you're very 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 careful. There's one thing here, be too late. Na nkofo bebre nu omo be ka na omo ntumi nka. Wona wo wa kokoduro no de omo ka te say kan west mu. Omo ka dudu na no muntumi enka. Woton wo kra eya. Na de eya wo mu kra ne se enye de a wonim se wo woton wo kra. But yen kan chere na wo de wonim se o di spirituality echi. Na wako baby na ne pakono aye susuma de na che wo kra. Eni po na eya kra because we no wonim se de pakono de first one the one na wo de ye ka chere na wo jitum na wo de kra man se yemfa mawo. Na nea osu ni musu de onam say open spiritual knowledge, open awakening. Na wako pray baby na say e be ye okra say ana de okra be ko say ana be ko ye okra say. Na osu de chi dundu won bi semu. And ya no, because you chi okra without your permission. So bi si obeyi ade wo okra ama. Enye ade a wankasa na o kire na waye wa ade. And no still. But so say ono ya mawa so bisemu ye. E den honhom no yusu. Honhom na chiwa de ne den na pede ne den. So bisemu ye. So mo kan no kra ne kire wo de a. Bibiri baka jo so we de anya hwe. Because when you meditate and you ascend into the realms of the abyss, so saya trapo wo ho no minwa ba ma minwa ba papa mame omo koya omo. So big catch you say there's no agony in the afterlife ne pakono boa. So big catch you say There's no agony in the afterlife. Because me opportunity. And yes, I'm a dao. Any opportunity, I'm a above about the family crapping. Eddie Melko, Abyss, the underworld, and the center of Kra, a ko Oyaomono. Is serious. Me kokra ko hu me akasa madam for me domo ko school. And I knew the kind of life they are living. They are living careless, ruthless, ungodly life. I saw some of them there. And yes, I say, Miana me say. Now, Okohonas, Sa Accra no. So you'll be a so oba for visitor. No person omo inhabit na send be omo to me exited from that place. The place is full of pain and agony. It is a monye Accra. So when you man monye careful. You should know what you are doing. Because the soul is priceless. It's immeasurable in terms of value. And it's infinite in terms of potential. Yehu ye kran nti, yehu ye hunti. And nti na nyama yakose na yako. Na sa to me no, omo de inform ni they don't care who you are. They would always come to you to bargain for your soul. Let's look at the book of Matthew chapter 4 verse 9. Probably I'll bring this intro to the value of the human soul to an end. We'll continue further in our next session, probably the next or two. Matthew chapter 4 verse 9. Matthew chapter 4 verse 9, but let's start from verse 8. It says that, and again, the devil, which is the malefic energy, took Jesus up onto an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of this world and the glory of them, and said to Jesus, all these things, all the kingdoms of this earth, with all its glory, I will give to you, if only will you fall down and worship me. The devil was ready to trade everything in this world plus its glory just for Jesus to surrender his soul to him. That is the meaning of worship me. Into one say, and then almost 30 years, our soul trading, no, and then it's ache over 2,000, 3,000 years. Ache, we are saying, we are saying in shares here, and sa energy start here. You see, he took Jesus to the cliff of the mountain, the highest part of the mountain, and he showed him all the glory of this world, and he said, this all is mine. It has been given unto me. Who gave it unto them? Son of man, through ignorance, handed over the world to the bad energy. He said, now I possess all these things. I control. With all this glory and with all this beauty you see, it's under my control, my command. There's only one thing I want from you. Bow down and surrender to me. Give me your soul. Surrender your soul to me, and I'll give you all these things. Just worship me. Surrender your soul to me, because we worship with our soul. And worship is an act of surrender. So you say that worship me, surrender your soul to me. If you are for this, you know, and no who sike wo nyina ade pa ade no bonsam no mpe. If all the beauties and the values of this world with all its glory is something worth better than it, so why did why is it that the devil doesn't want it? But he's ready to trade all those things just for the value of one soul. Why? Bonsam ne nyate because all fit into ase or can abofo no. The year can ya otiwa me tese obi ka say me say they feel the eden okay because they have brainwashed you. The same malefic satanic energy has brainwashed, has used agents in human form, but they are demons, to come on social media and to brainwash people that there's nothing like the devil. So me kind no, I'm not part of those teachers because I know the devil does exist. That energy we have called God, the devil, or that energy we have called Satan, we can call it any other name. We can call it Abonsam, Bomsam, whatever names you may call it. But the point is that bad, destructive energy, who is bent on destroying the soul of humanity, is at work. Look at the food they are doing nowadays. The genetically modified food to destroy humanity. Look at the medicines to destroy humanity. Everything is just toward one direction, and that is directed towards the destruction of humanity. To extinct the human race. Because he wants to rule over this universe. And he needs our soul energy to rule over this universe and to possess the universe. Because in all of creation, it is only human soul that was given the power and the dominion to rule over this universe. And for him to have that power and dominion to rule over this, we need to surrender our soul will to him, our soul energy to him. And when we bequeath our soul's energy to him, then he, by law, he gains the legitimate right to have dominion and to possess this universe. Because in the beginning, he thought the creator would have handed over creation to him. And the creator didn't, and the creator created us in his image and likeness and handed over creation to us, and he was pleased with the creator. That why would the creator do that? And if that is the case, he will do everything to destroy the relationship between the creator and its manifestation, its incarnation, so that we then indirectly would hand over our souls to him. So when we hand over our souls to him, then he assumes the legal right, the divine right, to possess this earth and to control this earth and to rule this space, and which is his original intention from the beginning. Until gradually, no, or to the souls to gradually. So please wake up. The bad energy with its demonical forces are at work. Wake up. And they will always entice you with sensual, material, and financial gratification. They would always entice you with it. You go and sign pacts, you become famous, you become popular, you make money, you buy the best cars, build a beautiful houses, beautiful. Someday you will die and live it. Yet you can do all these things as well without you selling your soul. Human beings, children of the Most High, wake up. Let us wake up from our slumber. Because you see, no magicians in na do na da na sofo. You see, abosofo nyina do na ja na spiritual teachers. Umbisemu. nsusuye wɔ mu sɛ na ɛwɔ nifa ɛna benkum. It's the word of duality, and in the world of the entities there is also duality. Sɛ na ɛwɔ nipa bɔne ɛna ɛwɔ nipa papa, ɛwɔ nipa wɔ ɔdɔ ɛna nipa wɔ ni ɔdɔ no. This duality saa na ɛwɔ ahohom mu dem. Ɛwɔ ahohom pa a ɔmo wɔ ɔdɔ sɛ ɔmo bɛboa amansan ana nipa da sɛ ne ɛna ɛwɔ ahohom bɔne ahohom fi a ɔmo ni ɔdɔ ɔya nkwa na ɛwɔ mu. Ɔmo so ɔmo den sɛ ɔmo bɛsɛ nipa na ɔmo akyi nipa kra. This is the word of duality. This is the truth. Let nobody deceive you that in this world it is only the forces of good that are here. It is not true. This is the word of duality. They still talk about duality and still talk about that there's nothing like Satan, there's nothing like devil. It is beyond this physical essence that there's no duality. It's only a unit. It's only the divine union. But in this duality, in this manifest world, it has been very, very, very chaotic. Chaotic. And in the chaos, there are the good people and there's the bad ones. There are the good souls and there are the bad souls. There are the good entities and there are the bad entities. There are the good extraterrestrial, which are the aliens, and there's the bad extraterrestrial, which are the aliens. That is the duality we live in, and this is the reality. So please, awaken yourself. Don't let them deceive you. Even if I don't continue this video, which of course I intend to do, but even if I don't, do not ever forget the value of your soul. And yet teacher biya na obedi na chi say you a spiritual person. Ebi mu ye ahun bone. Ebi mu so hun bone. Ebi mu so adamo na hun. And almost mu nyina oma ba social media so no from spiritual teachers. Be careful. Yes, mom is saying back and I've finished my work. Say net your frame here. My work is done. If you hear my voice, I have told you the truth. And on the day of accountability, where your soul transcends, you have no excuse. You just said to me, be an to me, be idea. And yet to me, be an to me, idea. And yet to me, be an idea, no coffee. Be say boa be no abese o na de okoye na nya na akwakosi sen na de ni nya na akosi sen ni mambi o hotel kese pa o sudo those days no person be hotel ni dey for the sake of family. Those days no go sika papa presidents ni akono no wo sika papa ene wo ko hotel no kra ntumi fashion bio so ayo anya basa but according to niamete edu time na yere na be hunu na yere hunu ena yere bisa say ni pese me boniri na dedede nyina ade na obresa eno sisa o ade amedo ye ni nti minya bebi anko on nam sa hungry ghost ko ya umu nti ansa na yere ne be hunu ni yere confess here because o se on person be breast sese na ne kun bre wo ho no wana ka chose bibi ni wiase o je se hu bia na ede ekire. Then I said the social media na banning now. I know West obi akoko share enlightenment ase, obi akoko share awakening ase. Ahumfi adamo ne hunhum. Nyina akoko share enlightenment ase. Hidden truth in plain sight. And omode dada nkofo kra. Ya me hwe bia na ya me areho. Na ya me ya. But nipa epe won wasem. People love magic. People love miracles. People love wonders. And they reject the truth of their own power, of their God within. Mabo and so media and the Adam Akumaso, Edatu Makumaso, and Amawa Kachra. Find the Christ within you. Develop the Christ within you, so that your soul will be saved and safe. SAVED and SAFE. Safe and saved. So that your soul will be saved and your soul will be safe in this life and in the afterlife. This is the only thing I will tell you. Walk the path of goodness. Walk the path of unconditional love. Walk the path of compassion. Walk the path of forgiveness, of truth, of humility, of not judgmentalism, of kindness. And be the God that you were originally formed of. You are formed out of the image and likeness of God. So be that God. Awaken the God within you. Awaken the divine within you. For ye not know that thy body is the temple of God, and God dwells in you. Do not hasten after other gods. Neither do you put their names upon your, take up their names upon your lips. But the only God that you have to take the name upon your lips is the God which is within you. Psalm 16. Psalm 16 verse 4. Or say, their sorrows shall be multiplied, that hasten after other gods. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names upon my lips. Their drinks offering of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names onto my lips. There's this thing that they told me, that name I shouldn't mention because the person is very popular. And they told me that no, I should never. So anytime I want to talk about something and I have to use the person's local name. But the person's branding name that he or she uses, I was told never to use that branding name. Because you don't have to take the name of their gods upon your lips. Be careful. You are say wakwa 70 years. And then me ba proprietress school owner no catch him say na dan phobia we see a dan kese wo tesa no so labon rather very big house. But so what tesa no say then big houses. The man yawa brochi. The house help and the driver na umti fi o mama newu. The man no so momba. Mama newu, the man no so momba. If you need to work kwapra, we seek after vanity with our soul. Yeah. Now you say, sir, I don't know you are money for free. Or you are the money now more time. Time no do a virgin idea. Say we come on. And I said, okay. On my munya day free, obey your mouth. Or your mouth time down, obohu. The time no do an obohu. Be careful. Wake up. Seek the God inside. Seek the sublime love intelligence. of which you are a part of that source. And at worst, use the nature spirits. There are nature spirits that are there that God has put in there, here on the Creator has put in on earth to assist us in our journey. And your libation be a libation, I have some libation. It be a poor nature spirits. It is there. Thank you very much. I'll bring to a closure at this session. And this is one of the things I've treated that my soul is very happy. Honestly speaking, I'm really, really happy for this topic that I've been able to treat. Those who have ears, let them hear what the Spirit Divine is saying. The day my father was about to die, my father was the first person who talked to me about all these shrines and deities and all those things. The last time he was about to die, the only thing he told me that, son, never ever go to these entities. They will do it for you. Just a little while, it will come down, then you have to go back to keep going back and going back and going back. Every 6 months, maximum every year, you have to go back again. They never do anything for free. But most importantly and most dangerously, they have a time for you. Because they will never serve you forever. So he told me to stick to the path on which I am. Stick to the path in which I am. I should believe in the Christ. Even if I die and the Christ does not exist, I have nothing to lose. But if you don't believe and you die and it is real, there's no coming back and there's no changing of decision. And now I know it is real. Whilst I'm still in the physical body, I don't need to die. Whilst I'm in this physical body, I know it is real. Why? Because I've experienced the Spirit of the Christ before and I know it is real. Thank you very much. And people are looking at my face. And they are smiling. I said I'm going to do only 35 minutes. So please, be careful. Much love. Much love. I talk to you. Be careful. Above all things, I wish that thou prosperous and be in good health as thy soul prosperous. So with much love I tell you these things. Be careful. Don't put yourself under bondage. They will do something for you. Afi bi aye say, bosom bi aye say, every 6 months bi aye say. It's troublesome. What if the day something happened interstate? What happens? Come to the path of freedom. Come to the path of self-realization. Come to the path of inner power. That on this path, there's no conditions. There's no restrictions. All there is your own power trying to lead you to the supreme power, which is the infinite love, intelligence we call God. The self-realizing, the divine. And in that state, you can use all the nature spirits, which also non-conditional. There's a way that seems right unto men, but the end thereof is destruction, and many are they that are on that way. But there's a way, and narrow is the way that leads us to life, but few are they that find that way. Thank you, and God bless you. Stay blessed.